Hello, this is Ian, CEO at We Are for Wellness, and I've just been having a conversation with Elisabetta off the recording, and it was wonderful. And we were just saying we should have recorded that as well. But hey, look, let's continue. So, where
Yes.
are you, Elisabetta, and welcome?
Hello everyone. I'm in northwest London, so in between Willesden Green, yes, around Willesden Green area.
Yeah, no, absolutely wonderful. And we're going to be talking about forest bathing and using that as a media to connect to health and wellness. Let's look. I don't think I've asked this before. How did you even get into forest bathing?
Oof. It was a long journey, but actually, I think I've been doing forest bathing all my life, and I didn't realize that it was such a thing because was always connected with nature. I always loved getting lost in the fields and climbing trees and smelling the flowers and listening to the birds. But I thought that everyone would do that. Everyone would just get lost watching clouds or just looking at the movements. But apparently, not everybody has the automatic way of looking at nature. So for me, it's always been there, but it was not a career until few years ago. I was in events, did a bit of media work, and I love photography as well. So I was thinking, should I do with photography, media, and then events? Events has been, really the main path of my career. But then I really got into yoga, into breath work, and lots of reading about self-development, about, the Thich Nhat Hanh, the mindfulness. And during COVID, I was doing a lot of yoga in the garden, and I was also offering little sessions to my neighbors in the garden. And I just noticed how how my friends reacted to doing shavasana under the trees. And I thought, wow, this is fantastic. It took about nearly 2 years to find that there was forest bathing. So as soon as I saw forest bathing and I was changing career, I had left my events a job, and forest bathing came, and within the day I saw it, I enrolled into the course, and I love it. It's my pure passion. I'm so happy I'm doing it.
It and that comes across absolutely. This hey, it's natural. It should be just feel natural, shouldn't it? So somebody comes in to offer wellness. They're looking for forest bathing because they've heard about it somewhere or they've seen it in an advert somewhere, but they don't know what it is. They connect with you,
Mhm.
and they have a conversation with you. And what would they be expecting to experience with
Mhm.
you in a forest bathing
Well,
situation?
initially I give a little bit of introduction. So at least, I let them know the benefits about forest bathing, and I let them know that everything that I invite them to do, it's all backed up by case studies, research, and medical papers. It's all available and they're all accessible. So if they want to know more, I'm really happy to send information after the session. So that's a general introduction. And then I explain how the nervous system is working and how we've been, especially us, me living in London and people rushing all the time, and how we're always on this very fast pace of life, and we've stopped really taking time for ourselves and or taking time to actually notice what's around. And because we are always in the really fight and fight mode, our body and our mind, they're really suffering. So we get ill and we get stressed, we get anxious, we get depressed. So we try. So I explained that while we can change, we can help our nervous system to slow down and to stay more into a rest and digest mode when we are in the forest or in a park. We start being in silence, slow down. We walk really slowly. We start doing very simple breathing exercises, and we start using the senses in a way that we use lesser racing thoughts. We try not to go too much on maybe naming trees or talking about certain things. We switch from the introduction, we switch slowly into more of a sensory experience. So we go through different senses. So and we have little tips. I've learned little tips how to see certain things, so how to listen certain sounds, how we can amplify the sounds, and how we can smell better as well. And we do that. And it's all really invitation. And people are, I give them the freedom to follow me or not follow me, but as long as they stay with the senses and they experience, they just, be there in the moment. And the result is is always wonderful. And what we do, and then we do a bit of sharing, but we try and stay in silence, but then we do a little bit of sharing, which is always lovely. And then we do some breathing now and then. And then the final session, we lie down under the trees and I guide the participants through a tree relaxation. So we do a meditation and some visualization, very simple. We do a bit of grounding, so we try and touch the earth. And then often I bring the tea and we do at the end a tea ceremony and the last share. And it's fantastic. Every time is different.
It's really quite beautiful, isn't it? And as you was talking, just to remind myself, the simplicity of what it is you're doing, that everything is there waiting for us in nature to be connected to those things in ourselves. And I was remembering in the I didn't buy it at the time, but in the late 60s and the 70s, there was a kind of a popular book going around called The Secret Life of Plants. I don't know
Mhm.
if you ever come across it. Um, and that kind of counterculture at the time, would read it. And it was one of these scientific experiments where they they played like classical music to one plant and then observed the results. And then they played rock music at the time to the other plants and observed the results. And of course, one flourished and grew and was healthy, and one withered and died. So what they were demonstrating was the interaction of sound and energy and the transference between what goes on in nature and in us and so forth. It's fascinating. So I can imagine this experience with you would be an opportunity to go and really reconnect with self, be in a shared experience that's just lovely and beautiful and simple. And I'd imagine people come away with that little shine in their eyes and, smiles, the skin softened and just had a great time and such a needed time. So, Elisabetta, we need people like you in the world doing this type of work and also being an ambassador, for the forests and the trees and the birds and all the nature that goes on. So, wonderful to do it. So, people, look, please do come into We Offer Wellness. Find Elisabetta, look for the keywords like forest bathing and things like mindfulness will come up, won't they? So the keywords that hopefully, if you're in that London area, then come and connect. But also, Elisabetta and I were talking about some possible offerings in the future that could be done in another way. So stay tuned, but come and find out. So Elisabetta, thank you ever so much for this today. Pleasure speaking
Thank
to you.
you.
Certainly gives us a sense of what we're doing. So wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you, Ian.